Today, we're diving into ancient Indian history and culture, focusing on the Vedic literature that forms the backbone of this subject. We'll explore the journey from ritual practices to philosophy and how popular religion evolved alongside. We'll also break down the key texts, the four Vedas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, and Puranas, to build a clear, structured understanding for both prelims and mains. Let's take a step back and look at the big picture of Vedic literature. At its core, the Vedas are divided into four layers. We start with the Samhitas, the core hymns and mantras. Then come the Brahmanas, which are prose manuals explaining rituals. The Aranyakas follow, often called forest texts, offering symbolic reinterpretations. Finally, the Upanishads bring us to the philosophical peak, Vedanta. Beyond this, we have Smriti texts, human-authored works that explain and expand on the eternal, divinely revealed Shruti. Let's explore the four Vedas, the foundational texts of Vedic literature. First, the Rigveda, the oldest and most important, contains over 1,000 hymns dedicated to various deities. Next, the Samaveda draws mostly from the Rigveda but sets those verses to music, forming the root of Indian classical music. Then, the Yajurveda provides prose mantras used in rituals, existing in two main versions. Finally, the Atharvaveda reflects everyday life, with spells, charms, and folk medicine, a window into popular tradition. The Rigveda is the world's oldest religious text still in use today. It's a collection of hymns, mostly praising nature deities like Indra, Agni, and Varuna. These hymns were recited by priests during sacrifices, making the Rigveda a key source for understanding early Vedic society, politics, and economy. It's organized into 10 books, or mandalas, with the oldest core found in mandalas 2 through 7. Among its famous verses are the Gayatri Mantra and philosophical hymns exploring creation. The Samaveda holds a special place as the root of Indian classical music. It's the earliest known system of musical notation, laying the foundation for centuries of tradition. This Veda is divided into two parts, the Purvarkika, a collection of verses, and the Uttararkika, which arranges melodies for specific rituals. It's chanted by the Udgatar priest, one of 4 key priests in a Vedic ceremony. Essentially, the Samaveda is a liturgical songbook, transforming Rigveda verses into melodic chants for Soma sacrifices. It's truly the Veda of melodies. Now let's turn to the Yajurveda, the Veda of sacrificial formulas. It's closely tied to the Advaryu priest, the one who actually performs the ritual actions during a yajna. The Yajurveda comes in 2 main versions. The older one, called the Krishna or Black Yajurveda, mixes mantras with their explanations. The younger, or Shukla, White Yajurveda keeps the mantras and prose separate. This text is a practical guide, a how-to manual for Vedic sacrifices. The Atharvaveda stands apart from the other 3 Vedas, often called the Veda of everyday life. It's attributed to the sage Atharvan, but historically, it wasn't always counted among the core trio of sacred texts. What makes it unique is its focus on spells, charms, and incantations, things like healing, protection, love, and even agriculture. It reflects the blending of indigenous folk practices with Vedic traditions. For UPSC aspirants, it offers a rare glimpse into the beliefs and daily lives of common people during the later Vedic period. Let's take a quick look at the 4 Vedas and how they relate to each other. The Rigveda is the oldest, focused mainly on hymns praising the gods. Then, the Samaveda and Yajurveda appear around the same time, expanding on rituals, one set to music, the other with sacrificial formulas. Finally, the Atharvaveda comes last, bringing in spells and folk practices. Each Veda has its own priestly role and key texts, showing how this ancient tradition evolved over time. Now we're diving into the Brahmanas, the prose texts that come after the Samhitas. These are the ritual manuals, explaining not just how to perform ceremonies, but what each mantra means on a deeper level. The Shatapatha Brahmana stands out here. It's the most important one, tied to the Shukla Yajurveda, and it even includes the story of Manu and the Great Flood. These texts mark the peak of ritual focus and priestly authority in the later Vedic age, blending myth, philosophy, and precise ritual instructions. Now, let's explore the Aranyakas, often called the forest books. These texts sit between the Brahmanas and the Upanishads within the Vedic corpus. They mark a shift from detailed sacrificial rituals toward meditation on their symbolic, cosmic meanings. The Aranyakas were meant for study in seclusion, by those who had withdrawn from village life. In a way, they serve as a bridge, moving us from ritual action to philosophical insight, where ceremonies become allegories for deeper truths. Let's explore the Upanishads, a key part of Vedic literature that dives deep into philosophy. Their central idea is that Atman, the individual soul, and Brahman, the ultimate reality behind everything, are one and the same. They teach about moksha, liberation from the endless cycle of rebirth, samsara, through self-knowledge. These texts are often dialogues between teacher and student, sharing profound insights. Known as Vedanta, the Upanishads mark the philosophical peak of the Vedas, guiding us beyond ritual to the essence of existence. Now let's dive into the Upanishads, the heart of Vedic literature. These texts lay the groundwork for later Vedanta philosophies, like Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita. There are 10 to 13 principal Upanishads, often called the Mukhya Upanishads. Each one explores profound ideas about the self and ultimate reality. Among their key teachings are the Mahavakyas, or great sayings. For example, Tat Tvam Asi means thou art that, pointing to our unity with the Absolute. These sayings capture the essence of the Upanishads, spiritual insight. The Puranas played a huge role in making religion accessible to everyday people. They did this through vivid stories and local retellings, sparking the Bhakti movement. These texts also help historians piece together ancient Indian politics, especially through dynastic lists like those in the Matsya Purana. There are 18 major Puranas, grouped by the deity they honor, Vishnu, Shiva, or Brahma. They cover everything from cosmic cycles to genealogies of gods and kings, blending myth with history in a way that's both rich and enduring. When approaching the UPSC exam, it's crucial to cite specific texts like the Shatapatha Brahmana, Chandogya Upanishad, and Bhagavata Purana to back up your answers. Structure your responses clearly, start with what the text is, then highlight key features, followed by its historical and philosophical significance, and finally, its continuing relevance today. For example, you might discuss how the Puranas helped popularize religion, or how the Upanishads shaped Indian philosophy. Remember key classifications, important mantras, and the order of the Vedas. This approach sharpens your answers for both prelims and mains. Let's take a step back and see the big picture of Vedic literature. It starts with the Samhitas, hymns and chants that call on the gods directly. Then, the Brahmanas guide us through detailed ritual procedures. The Aranyakas take a more symbolic, meditative turn, often practiced in forest seclusion. Next, the Upanishads dive deep into philosophy, exploring the self, the ultimate reality, and liberation. Finally, the Puranas bring these ideas to life, with stories that made religion accessible to everyone. It's a rich journey from ritual to reflection to storytelling. We've covered a lot, from the core concepts of the Puranas and their role in the Bhakti movement, to the profound teachings of the Upanishads on Brahman and Atman. We explored the Aranyakas as the bridge from ritual to philosophy, and the Brahmanas with their focus on ritual instructions and interpretations. Plus, the structure and content of the 4 Vedas. Now, you're ready for both prelims and mains. Keep this revision checklist close as you prepare. Good luck. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.